This is Thursday, so we're nearly at the end of the week. First question here, they're asking us to simplify 10 over 15. So what we need to do here is find a number that we can divide evenly into 10 that we can also divide evenly into 15. And if we divide it into the top and the bottom there, we're going to get something over something here, and that will be our simplified answer. Number 2, they're asking us what is the average of 6, 8, 10 and 12. Now the first thing that we have to do there is add up these four numbers. Okay, add the four of them up and hold on to that answer. And then you need to divide that answer by the number of numbers that we have here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. So we add the four numbers up and then divide the answer by 4, and that'll tell us what is the average. Question 3, we have to name this 2D shape. Now there's a little clue here. You have this symbol here, and that tells us that those two sides are parallel to each other. And we have another symbol here matched over here that tells us that those two sides are parallel to each other. So this shape is made up of parallel sides. Now if that isn't enough of a clue for you, you should find your answer in the back of the New Wave Maths book. You're going to find a shape where all the sides are parallel, and it has a special name. Number 4, something multiplied by 6 is equal to 24. So what is that thing? That's from your 6 times tables. What do you multiply by 6 to get 24? Number 5, we're back to this one now, where we put, they're written down horizontally here, but we're going to write them vertically. We're going to do 0.3. We're going to multiply it by 0.5. Okay, we'll get an answer down here, and to find out where our decimal goes, we count up the numbers in the sum after the decimal place. Number 6, we have 2 plus minus 5. So we're going to start off with 0, we're going to go forwards 2, and then we're going to count back 5 on the number line, and we're going to get a minus number for our answer. Number 7, we have to choose between plus, minus, multiply and divide. Which of the 4 operations there will give you 18? Number 18, we have to write 30 over 1,000 as a decimal. Now, because it's thousands, our number is going to be 0 point something something something. To show thousands as a decimal, we need 3 places after the decimal point, and we need to put 30 in here. It's not going to be 0, 0, 0. It's going to be 30 going into this place here. Number 9. 5 over 6 is equal to 15 over 18. Is that true or is that false? Now at the moment we can't compare them because we have sixths here and 18ths here. So what we need to do is either turn 18ths into sixths or sixths into 18ths. And the easiest way to do this, in fact the only way, is to turn the sixths into 18ths. So if I have 5 over 6, and I want to turn it into something over 18. What am I doing to this 6 here to turn it into 18? I'm multiplying it by 3. And I'm going to have to do the same on top here with the 5. I'm going to have to multiply it by 3, and I'll get 3 times 5 is 15. So this 5/6 over here is the exact same thing as 15 over 18. So you have to answer then, are they equal to each other or not? It's either true or it's false. Number 10, Alex shuffled 20 cards numbered from 1 to 20. What is the chance of picking a multiple of 5? So altogether, there were 20 cards. So we're going to write this chance as a fraction first. We're going to say there was 20 cards in total. We'll put our 20 on the bottom. And we're asked what was his chances of picking the multiples of 5. Now the multiples of 5 are going to be 5, 10, 15 and 20. So if we count up how many cards there are that are a multiple of 5, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So his chances of picking a multiple of 5 is 4 out of 20. Now, in the sum, they're asking us for that as a percentage. So we need to turn this 4 out of 20 into a percent. So we'd like to have 100 on the bottom here. So we'll take 4 out of 20 and we're going to change this to 100 on the bottom. Now to get 20 to 100, we multiply it by 5. So we'll be doing the same on top here. We're going to take this 4 and multiply it by 5, and we're going to get 20 out of 100. 20 hundredths. So that's going to be 20% in here, and as a decimal it's going to be 0.20. Number 11, we have to tick the larger. 75% of 20 or 20% of 50. Now, it helps a lot here if we recognize what fractions they are. So 75%, that is 75 over 100. And we can simplify that. 25 goes into the top 3 times and it goes into the bottom 4 times. So this here is 3/4 of 20. So we're going to take 20, we're going to divide it by the bottom and multiply it by the top. And that'll give us a number in here. 20% of 50, well that's 20 out of 100. And we can simplify that to 1/5. 20 goes into the top once and 20 goes into the bottom 5 times. So that's 1/5. So 20% of 50 we divide by the bottom and multiply by the top. And that'll give us a number for this one here. And then we just have to choose which of those numbers is the biggest. Number 17, we're doing 17 divided by 1/3. So the trick for these, we've seen it before. We have 7 divided by 1/3. We're going to write down the 7 as 7 over 1. We're going to change our divide to a multiply sign, and we're going to flip this fraction upside down. We're going to get 3 over 1. And for that, you're going to get something over 1. And that's going to be the same as whatever number is you have on top here. And that's going to be your answer. Number 11, we've got 11 to the power of 2 or 11 squared. You can read that as 11 squared or 11 to the power of 2. And what that simply means is 11 multiplied by 11. So I'm going to let you work out the answer for that. That'll tell you what 11 squared is. On number 14, the corners are 1, 2, 1, 6 and 6, 2. Plot the points and draw the triangle. Now plot the points is just a fancy way of saying take these coordinates here and put them on the graph. Now remember, the first one is always x and the second one is always y. So I'm going to put this one on the graph for you and I'm going to let you do the rest. So for x, I'm going to go on the x-axis here, I'm going to go over to 1. And then for the 2 here for the y, I've gone over to 1 now, I'm going to go up 1, 2 to y, and that is my first point. This point here is 1, 2. Now they're asking you to find this point and then join them together and you're going to get a triangle. And for number 15, they're asking you what type of triangle is it? Now, an equilateral triangle, all the sides are the same length and all the angles are the same. A scalene triangle, none of the sides are the same length and the angles are all different. And then the only other type of triangle is an isosceles triangle, and that's where you have 2 sides the same length and 2 angles the same. So you're going to have to decide what kind of triangle that is when you draw it up here. Number 16, what is the chance of it raining today? So have a look out the window and you'll get your answer for that one. Number 17, 8 3/5 plus 1 3/5. Now we haven't done one of these in a while. What I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to make it all improper fractions first. So to turn this into an improper fraction, I'm going to do 5 times 8 is 40, and I'm going to add on my 3. And I'm going to get, I'm going to get 43 over 5. I'm going to do the same for this one. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 3 gives me 8 over 5. So now I have 43 fifths plus 8 fifths, and that is equal to 51 over 5. Now, we don't want to leave our answer like that. We'd never give our answer as an improper fraction. The last thing we need to do is divide 5 into this. 5 into 51 goes 10 times, and there's 1 left over, so it'll be 10 and 1/5. Now, I've gone through that one from start to finish and given you the answer. The next day, if it comes up again, I'll let you come back to this and try and do it yourselves. Number 18, we're asked to add up 3/4 and 1/2. So again, we can't add up two different fractions. We need to either make them both halves or both quarters. So for that one, I would leave 3/4 as it is, and I would change the half into quarters. Now a half, we should know, is 2/4. So altogether, I'm getting 3/4 plus 2/4 equals 5/4. And again, we don't want to leave it as an improper fraction here. We want to divide the 4 into 5 to get our whole number, and the remainder we'll put over 4 as our fraction. Next one, we have 5 multiplied by something is equal to 50 divided by 5. Well, the first thing to do here is ask ourselves, what is 50 divided by 5? So that's going to be equal to 10. So 5 multiplied by something is the same as 50 divided by 5 is the same as 10. What do you multiply 5 by to get 10? And then the last one, 3/4 plus y is equal to 3 3/4. So the 3 and the 3 are the same here, so we needn't even worry about those. We just need to ask, what are we adding on to 1/4 to get 3/4? And that will tell you what y is. So that's it, guys. That's Thursday's done. Hope you're getting on well with them, and I'll be back to you again tomorrow.